Now again, there's tons of ways to make builds, and I'm gonna do this one right here, and please do not think I'm trying to degrade you or anything like that. Please don't. All right, I understand that y'all want to make builds work. I have someone who asked me this in my Discord about a specific build, and again, sometimes ninja bikes work, but this one here does not. Now, what he was trying to do is basically make it to where he has a huge chatterbox with a lot of ammo. Now, max ammo does not always work with every single build. It really doesn't. And while he tried to put on, I believe it was Overwatch for his chest piece to help out his teammates and debuff NPCs or players nearby to help that out, he's losing too much damage. So we can't just come out here and make bullcrap builds like doing this. Because if I were to give the player bases, say, like a build like this right here, as you see, it's all over the place. It's got explosive resistance, it's got weapon handling. If I wanted to go make this about the incoming repairs, and this has got hazard protection and headshot damage, this build does jack shit. You know, putting the right pieces together to make a good build, for this one as an example, if you give them crap, they're gonna walk away. So don't just go throwing out builds or something like that just because you're trying to look for views. Don't be calling it some immortal monster in like not able to die kind of stuff just for views. Now, can any build basically come out here and do a 4 directive? Yeah, it's very easy. Even a 5 directive, it's just as easy. You can kill stuff down just like this. It's not that hard to do 5 directives. However, builds like this one right here with the Hunter's Fury, and as you can see, memento stacks, once you actually start killing stuff off and you get X amount of ammo, that's where some of these start to go down, because you're not going to get all of that full, you know, magazine where you have like 1,000 rounds or something like that, and that actually hurts builds like this. So rather than doing full 5 directives, drop it down 1 and get rid of pistolero so you can actually have a lot more ammo. Because as you can see, even if we were to sit here and try to take damage, well, you're going to be wasting some shots if you're on fire or things like that. So why waste your time and hurt your build with doing 5 directives when you can drop it down 1 and go to 4 directives, right? Now, all of my builds right here can basically do this type of stuff. Every single one of them. I put them through the ringer. I put them through 5 directives. I put them through legendary, heroic, all that kind of stuff. I put them through PvP. I put them through every kind of ringer you can think of. And I find the weak spots. I find the strong spots. I find where they're best at, just like this. As you can see, we're able to keep up the Intimidate the whole time because we have all of this. But if we were to lose, say, all of our blue armor, we then lose Intimidate. So is Intimidate the best on this? Not entirely. It just is your play style. Which do you prefer to use? But as you can see, I mean, we can one-tap some of these. Watch. Boom. Done. But again, that is a great encounter, right? So why not show the weak spots of a build, right? That's where I'm going to excel in this type of scenario. I'm going to show you where it's best and where it's not. So you don't get any kind of bullshit. You're not being told that this is immortal, this is going to keep you alive, this is a best damage, it's a monster type build, it's insane. Nothing like that. You're going to get the honest and true facts. As you can see, we take a lot of damage. We lose our Intimidate, right? And because we lose our Intimidate, now we lose damage. And we were getting shot by 3 different NPCs. So why go with Intimidate if you don't need it, right? Let's keep that damage going. So what's another alternative, right? What's the best alternative? So if you're still trying to make a good Hunter's build, Hunter's Fury, the best alternative is actually going to be Obliterate. Now you want to probably do the Seska over the Sokolov. Why? Because even though Sokolov does increase your SMG's damage, if you're not using it because it has shotgun, and you also have an SMG on there, you want to do something that gives you the more crit. So the Seska is actually going to be best. So up above, I'm going to put a link to Fog's video, which explains why Seska is actually a lot better in certain scenarios.
One eternity later.
Now, if you're still with me and you've gone to take a look at Mr. Fog's video, or you've come back, this is the build. Now, Is an exotic weapon best in this spot? It can be, depending on what you want to use. Again, as long as it's an SMG or a shotgun, whatever you prefer, it's actually good. But the CMMG Banshee, like this right here, is actually clutch. Really good. Now again, with this build, you could put it all for Hasbro and then go with a backfire so you don't take the bleed. Another great alternative, right? Lady of Death slaps it down, especially for PvP. Put you a Lady of Death on with this right here, you're going to kill stuff. And then the Chatterbox, because we actually have this now, becomes a Bullet King on crack with a Hunter's Fury build all day long. So again, these are great alternatives. You can even use the Ouroboros, or the Oreo as people like to call it, or the Ooga Booga. So whatever SMG you prefer on here, by all means do so, but try this one out, right? Try the CMMG Banshee. Get your one with close and personal, because while you kill them close and personal, they're going to be staggered. And while they're staggered, guess what? You also get that extra 30% for about 10 seconds. If you don't like that, you can use whatever other kind of talent you want, but definitely pick yourself up a CMMG Banshee. Now, as a great alternative, because you also have shotgun damage, go with a KSG-12. Now, why the KSG-12 will pummel is because you're going to have enough rounds where you don't have to reload, unlike the M870 or other shotguns, where you can actually pump those 12 rounds out, and by the time you get it maxed out, or you can max out your Hunter's Fury with a CMMG Banshee, you can then come back to a KSG-12, start killing things because your Hunter's Fury is maxed out. So this right here is honestly the best build. Just what talent you want on your chest piece, whether it be Intimidate or Obliterate, is going to be best on this specific build. But as you can see, we also have enough to do a 6-tier shield, so we can have extra survivability, not take in as much damage to keep up the Intimidate if you use it right. So with this, again, the Aegis Predator. Let's get into that. Now, if you're new to the game and you don't understand what Hunter's Fury does, is after you've gotten X amount of kills, you can boost your weapons damage up by 25%. Now, at the same time, it's only going to stack up 5% for each one. But if you're close enough to them, you're going to debuff them, and you're going to do an extra 20% against them. Basically, you're getting a lot of extra damage just for being up close and personal. As well as when you kill them, you're going to cause a disorientate so they stop shooting you, which allows you to get more damage out and boost out that damage. So again, this is a great setup. And by end up doing all this right here, you need to make sure you find pieces like these hunters that I have, where you can take the armor off and put it to red. Now, most of these start with red, but if you want to increase it to armor, you need to make sure you have the critical hit damage, because most of the time you're going to be using a SMG on this more than a shotgun. But if you want to use a shotgun, that's why we have the Seska on there for the crit chance. But the Memento actually synergizes with this the best. Why? Is because one, it's going to give you the regen while you also have armor on kill, the weapon damage, and skill tiers. Plus, those extra blue bonuses allow you to have Intimidate at a certain period of time. Now, if you don't have that, or you don't want to use this, definitely go grab you a Seska or a Sokolov or whatever you prefer, a Badger Tough, with Obliterate. Make sure it's all red, or you can turn it to all red. Or if it is like those, just go ahead and get you one that has stuff like that. Now again, we have a lot of extra crit chance. So as you saw, we had 60%. Make sure you have your weapon set to where you're no more than about, I'd say about 57 for your SMGs. You could drop it down if you want to, put some extra critical damage in there. Do what you feel feels good for you. Again, if you watch Fogg's video, he talks about only having to be at a certain percentage. So that's what we want to do. Now, I've stressed that before, but you can also put Grupo in here over Sokolov all day long of whatever you want.